Hello, welcome back to Moray and Leah Snakebite. This is chapter 9, titled Feeling Fangry. Mo and Nully stayed close together, back to back. The inside of the old iron Bowser was stuffy and dark. "Is she here?" whispered Nully. "I can't see a thing." Mo slowly raised the tip of his tail onto Nully's scaly lips. His heat pits had already helped him sense the large, snake-shaped thermal image slowly breathing in the dark back corner. Now that the sun had finally retreated, the forecourt floodlights of the Roadhouse service station buzzed into life in a blaze of bright light. The dust-speckled light shone through small holes in the Bowser's rusty cracks above them. They felt like two suspects in a detective's interrogation room and were now literally in the spotlight for Madame Guadar. "Greetings, gentlemen," hissed a hoarse voice. "What a surprise to have visitors. I seldom have visitors, and they seldom stay long." Nelly swallowed noisily. "Oh, g'day, Madame Guadar. My name's Nelly. You might remember me. And this is my friend Mo. He's a snake like you." Slithering silently towards them, Madame Guadar glared at the little lizard for a moment, flickering her glossy black tongue at him in the dim light. She turned to Mo. "Oh, a snake like me? Your fangs must inject vicious venom too, Mo," interrogated Madame Guadar. No, madam," stammered Mo. "I don't believe I've heard of venom." "I see. Not quite like me, then," she sighed. "Well, perhaps that's best for you." She slithered out from the shadows into the light streaming from above. Mo suddenly saw what Nully was talking about when he described her camouflage. She had a gleaming, slender black head which connected seamlessly with her neck. It was as if her body had no end, slithering, slithering, slithering out of the darkness. The beams of light struck her middle section, revealing shimmering rich rust, ivory, caramel, and black speckles and bands, just like the color of the ground and shadows all around the roadhouse. She coiled up in front of the petrified pair and lifted her body in a distinct S shape. Her belly was a mesmerizing mosaic of leopard-like spots. Her sharp and rigid eyebrows, frozen in a permanent frown, sheltered two wide, round eye pupils. They centered in thin, golden irises, different to Mo's elliptical ones. Mo bravely spoke up. "Is venom a bad thing, Madame Guada?" "Venom is the liquid which I use to stop my prey from moving and breathing. I have holes in my two front fangs which inject this cocktail into their body when I bite them." She opened her mouth into a wide smile, displaying two small but needle-sharp fangs at the front of her upper front jaw. Mo and Nally looked at each other, swallowed nervously, then glanced awkwardly at Madame Guadar's belly. It seemed to have a lump in it. She quickly closed her mouth and dropped her head. Mo and Nully let out the breath they realized they had been holding. "But, alas," she continued, looking past the friends into the mottled light coming into the Bowser's holes, "this venom of mine gives me a horrid reputation. Humans, eagles, horses, even other snakes, they all want me dead." "They want you dead?" queried Mo in alarm. "Yes. My venom can kill more than mice and rats, you see. Only a small amount is fatal to most creatures. No one wants me around. For good reason, I suppose." "Did you have a good lunch today, then, Madame Guada?" queried Nully, trying to cheer her up and hoping he and Mo wouldn't experience this venom. Mo nudged him and whispered through his teeth, Oi! Remember, your brave is louder when you're helping others. Let her share her feelings. Nally nodded. We're sorry to hear that, Mo said, turning to Madame Guada, trying to be sympathetic. She smiled at Mo and turned to Nally. Yes, thank you, little bearded dragon. You need not worry that you are on the menu like the last time we met. Nally suddenly realized she did remember him and blushed. In all fairness to me, I had just woken from my winter sleep. I was famished and willing to eat almost anything, spikes or not. Nally looked at his spikes proudly. Madame Guada continued, I'm sure you've felt, what do the humans call it? Hangry before? Or in our case, fangry? She cackled huskily, turning to Mo, hoping he'd like her joke. The little friends laughed nervously. You don't have venom in your fangs, then, Mo? She continued. How do you capture prey? No, madam, answered Mo swiftly, composing himself and lifting his chin. My brother, sister, and I must squeeze our prey to stop them from moving and breathing. We have a lot of sharp teeth to grab hold of them, instead of two sharp fangs like you. We don't have venom. Ah, yes, of course. I thought you were a python with that handsome patchwork of patterns on your back. Mo felt pleased to be a carpet python, but could see Madame Guada felt very alone. Sympathy for this majestic old creature welled up inside him. Here she was, hiding in a rusty, musty, broken field bowser, having dodged car tires, horse hooves, kookaburra beaks, and shovels intent on crushing her all her life. Her part in nature seemed so important, just like Mo and his siblings back home. But that special feature she relies on to survive is what makes her so hated. He decided to encourage her. I'm sure you are a great help here keeping the mice and rats under control, Madame Guardar. I know the humans avoid you for good reason, but they can't deny you are special and have a purpose. Why, thank you, little python. She lifted her head higher as though Mo's word had inflated her slightly. She slithered closer to him. Yes, truly a handsome patchwork of patterns. She looked carefully at his skin patterns on either side of his neck, flickering her tongue as she circled him. Mo decided to get right to the point of their visit. After all, she did say her visitors seldom stayed long, and he was not entirely sure why. Well, you see, madam, it is actually because of a particular one of my patterns that we're here. A close friend from home told me it is the shape of a map of this land, Australia. Madame Guada stopped, intrigued about his mention of a map. Please continue, she hissed. I have been told you are called Guardar because it means long way around, and I thought you may have taken the long way around Australia. Could you read my map and tell me how to get home? She suddenly pulled back into a tall S shape, looking deep in his eyes. Her prominent frowning eyebrows rose in surprise, and she looked less angry, just for a moment. I am flattered you think so nobly of me, young Python. Sadly, I am called Guardar because everyone else takes the long way around when they see me. Mo dropped his chin and gazed at the ground. Oh, Madame Guardar quickly continued. But my ancestors have indeed slithered across much of this land. Mo looked up, excitement glinting in his eyes. And we have always shared our stories. It is good to share stories. My ancestors told stories of pythons from very far away. You have come far, haven't you, young python? Mo felt proud of himself. Here he was, talking with a wise old venomous snake, so far from home, and she had heard stories of pythons like him. Do you think your ancestor stories could help me find a way home if I show it to you on my map? Mo turned to show Madame Guada the large pattern on his back, with its two gleaming gold scales. Great snakes! That is wonderful! It is almost a precise map of this land, and no, but it is. Yes, there is a golden scale on your map right where we are located here on the bottom edge. Undiri, the waterless, the Nullarbor plain. Really? Asked Mo. Amazing. So that new scale is here at the Nullarbor. The other golden scale is my home. Can you see it? Ah, you live on the coast of Queensland, young Python, very near the Maiwar River. I think the humans now call it Brisbane River. I should have known by the colours of your skin. Ali and Madame Guada curled up comfortably while Mo described his home, telling them all about the river, the bridge, the gum trees, and the cicadas. She rubbed her chin with her tail tip and slithered back and forth around inside the Bowser. Yes, that sounds just like the place my ancestors spoke of. It sounds wonderful. Perhaps I should visit one day. She peeked out of the cricket ball sized hole, mumbled, then peeked out again, flickering her tongue. Just then, a striking blue, yellow, and white truck rolled in and parked in the shadowy distance of the forecourt. Madame Guada stared at it, squinting her eyes and sharpening her eyebrows. I know that truck, she whispered. As the driver opened the door and stepped out, the lights from the forecourt illuminated the picture on it. It was a map of Australia. I've got it, she hissed, slithering over to the friends. You two have shown great bravery and kindness by coming to see me, she continued. It would be an honor helping you get home. Mo was elated and coiled around her, hugging with a python squeeze. Thank you, madam. Nelly thought he saw a tiny smile appear around her lethal lips, but it was soon gone, and her frown returned sharp as ever. Move aside now so I can show you the plan, she hissed. She had a reputation to keep and couldn't risk being seen gushy and emotional by any rodents hiding in the shadows. She ushered them to the hole and pointed her tail towards the truck. You will need to climb into that truck tonight before it leaves. It has a picture of a map like yours on its door. So you can see where it makes regular stops. Am I right? Asked Mo. You're right. And if I'm right, one of the stops is a place not far from your home bridge. When the driver is ready to go, she'll come out and give each of the truck wheels a little kick to check if they're properly inflated. That'll give you time to get over there and hide under it. Mo looked at Nully, eyes wide in excitement. He nodded at Mo with a wink. Using her tail, Madame Guada pulled his face towards hers, looking deep in his eyes. But you must climb into the cab and hide under the seat when the human opens the door. When you smell you are close to home, you will have to press the brake pedal in the footwell to stop the truck. The driver will not know what is happening and will have to open the door to jump out and check the brakes. That's when I jump out and slither home. Yes, you are a smart one, she smiled. Mo nodded. He remembered the pedals in the footwell of Susie's Subi well. Madame Guada let out a long sigh. I think that's enough socializing for one night, she moaned. I'm off to sleep. And with that, she slithered back into the darkness of the Bowser. Good night, gentlemen, she whispered. Good night, Madame Guada, and thank you, replied the friends. Still in shock that they had just made friends with one of the world's deadliest creatures, they curled up just in front of the hole, keeping a close eye on the truck resting in the shadows. Nelly tried not to show it, but he kept one eye aimed at the back corner as well. Ghostly clouds crossed in front of the moon like sheep with steel wool fleeces, both dark grey and shimmering silver at the same time. The wind herded them away from the coast towards the outback. Mo dreamed of what it might be like there. Mesmerized by the rhythm of the clouds and the trucks rumbling in, Nelly fell into a deep sleep. He awoke with a start as a truck honked its horn. "Mo, my fella, the moonlight is bright enough for me to find a safe spot to spend the night. I am falling asleep, and I don't want to wake up here with Madam fanging for a feed, if you know what I mean." "Nelly, I can't thank you enough for all you've done," said Mo. "You are the bravest friend I could have ever hoped for." "Thank you, fella. You freed me from my fears and showed me what I'm really made of. Spiky scales and rescue tails," laughed Mo. Nelly chuckled. "Please bring your family to visit. I've got a lot more to show you here. And I need to introduce you to that odd mob we saw on the road sign." "We'll be here. And I'll need another mealga egg sooner than later." Nelly nodded. "Not one for long goodbyes." And he gave Mo a wink. "I pray you have a blessed journey home, Mo." With that, he scuttled out the hole, across the gritty ground, and disappeared into the dark shrubs. Mo set his gaze firmly on the truck in the shadows, recalling the nasty experience he had the last time he hitched a ride in one. "Sizzling snags! I wonder what surprises this one is carrying," whispered Mo to himself.